Welcome back to Horizon and H2O. The winner's circle continues with Eileen Khatchadourian, who I had the honor of presenting the best rock album to at the AMAs last week. Eileen, it was nice to meet you on stage for the first time.
It was nice to meet you.
And it was a pleasure to hear your songs. You have a website.
Yes.
What's the website address?
It's www.eileenkhatchadourian.com.
Okay.
Like it's written, EILENKhatchadourian. Very long.
Perfect. Now, this is your first album
Yes.
in Armenian, in folk Armenian, but it's also got a twist. Talk about the different approaches to these classic songs.
It's actually it's folk Armenian songs that we produced it in rock style. There is many styles of rock in the CD because it depended. It's the song that that gave us the opportunity to to do this style of rock. For example, in Karuna the style is more gothic. In Zartir Vortiak it's industrial rock. Deleyaman is more into electro. It's the songs that gave us, that permitted us to go this way. And of course the mastering at the end, it was the whole thing that gave this album a kind of alternative rock taste.
It's a unique approach to songs that many of us have grown up with. Now,
Yes.
you grew up in Beirut, you're Lebanese Armenian,
Yes.
and you're here for the first time, or you've been here before?
I've been here before for vacation,
Okay.
3 years ago, for 3 days.
Okay, that
In
doesn't count.
in California.
That doesn't count. But you were inspired to interpret these songs in the language of your...
My mother tongue language.
Yeah. And also the rock is what the current generation would be attracted
Exactly.
to versus the classical renditions.
Yes.
So this was a way for you to reach these songs out to the younger generation?
Yes, because personally, if I were not into music, maybe I wouldn't have listened to our old traditional songs, because the recordings are, although they're beautiful, but if people are not, if you are not interested into music, maybe you won't listen to these songs, because the young generation have more tendency to go into rock, trip hop, electro. I mean, what goes on now. So I wanted to take these songs and turn them and produce them into rock version, because as you said, it's more accessible,
yeah,
to young generations, to my generation as well. I'm not that old, but and especially that it's songs that we listened to when we were young. So they're familiar songs. The songs that I've chosen for the first album are songs that are very familiar. It's not that there are very, how we say, songs that we've never heard about. You know?
Right. It's a new representation of things that we may have heard, but this is a new voice for a new generation.
Exactly.
You had a number of talented people involved in this project.
Yes.
Midan. Tell us who was involved as producers and musicians.
I have 2 producers on the album, which is Mihran Gurunyan. He was with me on stage, and Mazen Siblini. The musicians that I work with are the most talented musicians. Jad Awad, he's our drummer. Haysam Shalhoub, our bassist. Mihran is a guitarist as well. And Mazen Siblini is on keyboard. I worked with a very good sound engineer who's very good into rock music, especially Philippe Tame. And the mastering was done at Abbey Road Studios in London.
Wow.
So this is the concept of the CD. And of course, when I'm on stage, I have with me our light designer, Fadi Qasim, and our visual artists, Gab Fernaine and Amin Dorra, because the concert is a tight show, is a whole concept. We have the visuals, the light show, the sound, so it's a show.
And the media that I read about your performances in Beirut mentioned the show because you actually take the time to explain to the audience what the songs are.
Yes, because I have a large audience of non-Armenians, and And this album is not meant to be for Armenians only. It's also for the people who don't know about our Armenian culture, our Armenian heritage. Many people were surprised to discover that we have such nice songs in the Armenian culture. And this is my way to show them that we have all these amazing songs. So when I'm on stage, I explain all the songs. I give a small resume of each song so people understand what I'm singing, what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that information is probably as important as the work itself,
Yes.
to kind of put it in context. Now, this album is getting a lot of airplay. Talk about the radio stations and where it's playing.
So the album is being played in Lebanon on Armenian stations and on the Lebanese stations. It's being played now, as I know, in the Czech Republic, in France, and it's being played in Syria, in Egypt, in
And I'm
Dubai.
sure a lot of internet radio stations
Yes,
as well.
Last FM. Of course, I'm on MySpace. Yeah, I mean, it's being played.
And for those who want to pick up a copy of the album, it's available.
Yes, it's
via the
available
internet.
online. So if they go on my website, there is a link that takes. It's sold actually at CD-Rama.
CD-Rama.com, okay.
in Los Angeles.com, on Amazon.com. It's sold here at Parcerien Records. Yeah, this is and at Amoeba in
Los
Sunset.
Angeles.
Yeah, in Los
So
Angeles.
are people surprised to hear